Good morning, afternoon, evening, good night. It's 6 a.m. or 6:01. Has Baker said anything? No, just Mike going. G'day, Mike. It's 1 minute past 6 in the morning, the 22nd of June. It's a pretty chilly morning here, but it's not too bad. It's a full moon, so I'm not out there shooting anything in particular. Today we're joined by two other people. Regular Greg. We should change your name to Regular Greg. Good morning, Regular Greg.
Hey, Shano.
Shado. The only person in town here that calls me that now is the vet, our local vet. They come in, they're like, "G'day, Shado." It's like, yeah, right. Not too many people call me that anymore. Normally it's Moz or Mozzie. How you doing, man? The regular one. Can you hear me? Or is there a problem?
I don't see him either.
No, you can't hear me.
There
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yes.
Oh. Can you not hear me, Greg?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh. I was asking you questions, you're just ignoring me.
Well, I thought you were talking to Dale because he wasn't on the screen yet.
This, folks, if you haven't watched this live stream before, this is how professional it gets.
It's because we're out of practice.
That's right. I thought it was 3 weeks because I was thinking we're not live streaming this week because it's out of the sequence of your work scheduling. And then you said, are we live streaming? I'm like, oh, hold on. And then you're saying maybe it's 4 weeks. I'll have to go and check now to see when the last live stream was because I think it was with Glenn Martin, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. How you doing, Greg?
I'm all right. Enjoying some nice warm weather here, up here in Canada.
Canada. So you get, is it your Galactic Core season now? I think it might be. Yeah, it would be.
Okay, so just real quick, what was it? Maybe a little over a week ago. Yep. The moon, well, it'd be almost 2 weeks ago because the moon was just starting to, have a crescent on it coming towards full again. And I went out to this spot out of town here, about 10-15 minute drive, because PhotoPills said that the galactic core was actually going to go across the sky this way, a little bit above the horizon where I would have been able to see it. And it was clear when I left home, and when I got there was clouds right there where the galactic core was supposed to be. Just ticked me off. But you know what? The picture that I did take, out of the like half a dozen or so that I put on Instagram recently, that's the one that's got the most attention. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
So
cool.
A cloudy picture at night.
Yeah. Sometimes it works, eh? Some of the more memorable photos that I've taken on the farm, at least, was cloudy skies with the moon up there behind. You can see some stars through the clouds moving. It looks. I think there's definitely advantages of it. Yeah. Okay. Shano, Grego, and Dalo. Good on you, Devo. Mr. Lotherington, did you see that you got a cameo in my latest video?
Oh, I did, yeah.
I've seen that, yeah. Well, he was there, then he was gone. He was there, then he was gone.
That's amazing.
I'll tell you, as I was doing it, that was one of the ones that was, I really struggled to get that to work properly because the sun was coming through behind you and like some of your hair, you freaking long-haired lout, was like out and about.
Yeah.
And it was like screw with it like now and then. Like I would do it once and then I'd have this like red, like corally seaweed looking thing just sitting in the middle of the water with your hair.
That's an Australian sea monster, I believe.
That's right.
Well, at least he didn't look like a mushroom or an egg.
It was crazy. Like when I did that, because I'd use it quite a bit, this tool, and I'm like, this is pretty bloody clever. Like it does it better than anything I've seen so far. And I thought, I'll sort it. I'll know what I'm doing with it now. I'll just do it live on the video. I was like, what the fuck is that? That's an eggshell for crying out loud. What is going on? It was pretty funny. Pretty funny. And I thought, should I take that out and do it again? Because it's probably user error. In fact, I think it was.
Oh, no. You got to leave that in.
He said if you went wider around, it would work. He's probably right.
You could do a part two,
funny.
maybe. You could do a part two or like give an update and then show how it's really done. But yeah, you got to leave that in.
It's not a well performing video, so I'm probably not going to do a part two to it. All of the everything I do with the stars is it goes well, and everything I don't do with the stars doesn't do as well. That's just the nature of what I do. Well, I'll show you some photos. I think I've shared some of these photos with you from my trip before, but I might leave them till the end. I'll give you a sneak peek. Look at that.
Yeah,
bloody ridiculous.
Incredible.
Ridiculous.
See, that's the view I was supposed to get that night. That's the way the core was supposed to go that night, right at about midnight that night, and clouds.
Yep. There's a bit happening at the moment. I was telling you guys about the Aussie YouTuber who's being sued for defamation at the moment for giving a bad product review. That's why I've got a box full of shit down there that I haven't reviewed. It's not the real reason that I haven't done that. It's just because it's no good, so I'm not going to do it. But and it kind of dovetailed well into what we were going to talk about today. So be careful, boys. We don't want Adobe coming after us or anyone else coming after us. But there's plenty of things happening at the moment. I was talking. I posted something to one of you guys. I might have just been in the group, and Dale said something about the Adobe lawsuit or something like this. And I went and I hadn't heard anything about this before. I kind of, how do I explain my thought process and mentality around what happens in the world? I generally am pretty insular. I keep to myself most of the time. I learn more from what's happening in the world from you guys and from my son. He'll send me a TikTok link or something, and I'll go, wow, the world is batshit crazy at the moment, isn't it? But the stuff with the Adobe thing, I went looking. So what I was, I think from memory, what do you got? What Dale said was something about if you go month by month in your subscription, you get out before the year, they charge you for the year or something like that. I didn't find that immediately. I found something else, and then as we were discussing this prior to going live, Greg's put something else in the kitty as well, if you like. So, tell us about the getting out before the year's up sort of thing on a monthly subscription, Dale. What have you heard about this?
Yeah, I've heard from a lot of people online there that everyone that has signed up for the month, it's not really that clear that if they were to pull out of that month subscription within the first year, I believe. I think it doesn't apply to if you're with them for over a year, but within the first year, there is a cancellation fee, which is quite hefty. It's quite a hefty cancellation fee, but I don't believe it's very obvious when you're signing up for that if you were to pull out, they would charge you. You may as well stay for a year. So I mean, it's slightly false advertising to a degree, or misleading, maybe not false advertising, but misleading advertising that you can cancel.
Has that happened
anytime.
to anyone in the chat here? If you guys watch this even afterwards, because we do this at a weird time, it's a global audience. If you have been impacted by that, just put a comment down. I'm curious as to, because I think there's a lot in the community who watch these live streams, who watch our videos, that would use Lightroom, and times are tough. I get that. So some people might have gone in for a couple of months and then gone, no, I can't keep doing this. Pull the pin. What happened? I'd like to know the real world.
To my understanding, this is part of the lawsuit in the U.S. that the Federal Trade Commission is putting on Adobe, and it's the poor business practices. And I think that's part of it, is the the cancellation fees and all that stuff. So it's not a good look for Adobe.
It may have all been in the same lawsuit, perhaps. I'm not sure here. I'm just spitballing. It might be all the same thing. That we might be all looking at the same lawsuit, just different parts of it. Maybe. I'm not sure. Because what I saw was somebody went through that user license agreement that when every time you open a piece of software for the first time and you're about to install it, it says, "Hey, do you agree to our terms?" And seriously, who reads that
Yeah,
shit? You
yeah.
just scroll
Well,
to the
and if
bottom
you
and accept
don't,
the terms.
and if you don't, then you don't use the software, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember years and years ago when it was like Windows, was it Vista? What was after XP?
Vista, yeah, I
Vista?
think so. Yep.
Vista? Where like that was when I was like kind of entrenched in the IT world, and we were talking about the user, the EULA, the end user license agreement, and no one in the room, and I was in the room with probably 80 or so like full on IT nerds. No one in that room had ever read one of these things. No one. But if you accept them, you can't use your freaking computer. It's you're kind of in there. But somebody had found with the Adobe stuff, somebody had found something in there. Somebody read it. It was in there. It was something about, and I'm paraphrasing very much here. You put your stuff onto the Creative Cloud, and we can use it however we want, basically. And I thought that's a bit shit, but it's also I also put it in line with. I'm sure there's better people out there than me, so have at it. If you want to make me famous by putting my photos out there, by all means do it. But what was the thing that you saw, Greg?
So about the licensing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
1 second here. I gotta clear my throat.
eBay bought Vista with actual money, like cash money, real cash money.
Yeah.
Like those things.
And it was poop.
Sorry, mate. It was poop.
So
it was real poop.
So
Thank God for that. It's okay. We can relax, everybody.
Oh yeah. Where's Elmer
Oh
Fudd?
yeah. As long as he's not talking about phones, we should believe what he says.
Yeah. Okay, so Terry White is a real big Adobe evangelist. He doesn't work for Adobe, I don't believe. And he went through some of these things that Adobe put out, where they updated the language and all that stuff. And so in the part where it says licenses to your cloud account, he kind of explains it pretty good. I'm not saying, everything's all fine and good in Adobe land, but he does explain it, in a way that it makes sense. And it says in the thing, excuse me, license to cloud content to operate services and software on your behalf. So in order for the software to work, you have to license, they have to give Adobe the license to do it. And that's kind of like, what you said about that big long thing where you scroll through it, hit OK just to get to the software. But in 4.2 about the ownership part, which states it still states that you own all your content, but you're granting them a non-exclusive worldwide royalty-free license to do the following with your cloud content, and that is to reproduce. And he says reproduce basically means if you want to copy something, or say you're in Lightroom and then you want to take it over to Photoshop, well, it has to be copied over. So that's what that means. Distribute is if you want to put your images on Behance, or send a video from Premiere straight to YouTube. Well, that's distribution. Creative derivative works, for example, to compress an image to use it as a thumbnail. So that's creating a derivative work of your original, bits. Yep. Publicly display. Okay, that's going back to the Behance thing. If you want to, have a gallery on Behance, that's Adobe's. I don't know what you call it, the gallery stuff, I guess. You have to give them permission to do that. Public reform, or public perform rather. That's the video thing where it says, for example, to enable a playback of a video on public properties like YouTube or whatever, or third-party platforms at your direction, but not to use the video to market or promote Adobe. And sublicense is foregoing rights to third parties acting on your behalf. For example, we utilize trusted cloud infrastructure providers and content delivery networks subject to confidentiality and privacy restrictions to provide you with faster access to your cloud content. So in order for Adobe Cloud to work, you have to give Adobe a sublicense to be able to use put your stuff somewhere, I guess is the bottom line. So then he says what they do not do is they will not and cannot grant a sublicense to a third party that is greater than the rights you give to us. So they can only do with your stuff what you grant them the license to do. They can't go beyond that, because then that's the theft, that's stealing, right? Under this clause 4.3a, we do not have the right to and will not use your content to market or promote Adobe. And then here comes the AI stuff. We will not use these rights to train generative AI models on your content, and will not use the sublicense rights to have anyone else train generative AI models on your content, except at your specific request, like you asking us to train a custom model on your content. So if I don't know what a good example there would be, but there, the way this guy talked about it made some sense. And I think there's a lot of people that probably aren't watching these videos. There's another video I watched today from a lady who is an Adobe lawyer. And the first thing you're going to think is, oh, lawyer speak, here we go. Well, she does put it pretty plain and simple. Let's see here. The reason we need a license to your content is because your content is yours and you own it. So you have to give them a license to do these things to make their software work. If you don't give them a license to do it, then they can't do it in their software. Like, they can't basically display your content in their program to let you do stuff to it.
Yep.
And and
I'm not sure how that's a big legal problem, though. Like, it's, from what you're saying there, this is you're giving them permission to do X, Y, and Z anyway, and they won't do A, B, and C without your say so. So what's the issue?
Well, this is what I like. When I first heard about this whole thing, I got the hair up in the back of my neck thinking, okay, what's going on here? Like, what's Adobe doing? And I mean, Adobe has come under the crosshairs before about stuff like this. And you'd think by now they would learn to put their terms of service and whatnot in plain English for everybody to understand. But they do it in lawyer speak, or in what I would call grade 16 English. When I was trained as an ISO auditor, the press, like the media, newspapers and things like that, they basically publish things in grade 6 English. In Canadian standards, in our 6th grade, in that type of English. Short sentences, easy to understand, all that stuff. When I was trained to be an ISO auditor at work, we were taught, like, the ISO literature, and that is written in what they called grade 16 English, where it's long drawn out sentences and they're typically like lawyer speak. So I've kind of come accustomed to kind of wrapping my head around some of that. I mean, I'm not a professional at it by any means, don't get me wrong, but when I read a long thing in a say, like a part of a EULA, I could kind of understand what they're saying. Not all the time, but sometimes. So this lawyer, she put things in plain English, and it sounds like it's not as bad as what people are thinking or are saying. There's like people like this photographer in Toronto. He made some valid points. He explained what his background is. He's formally trained in like human behavior and things like that. And there was a video that somebody put out. I think it was I don't think it was Adobe, but whoever it was, the way the guy, his facial expressions were when he said something like, this guy said, okay, see that right there, that is shady or whatever it was. I can't remember, but if people watch this Terry White video and this lawyer video, like the lawyer for Adobe, they might get a little better idea as to what's happening and what's going on. Is it, is it plain and clear and everything else? I don't know. But I think everybody needs to make their own informed decision on this before they, pick one side or the other. Now, I said in the podcast the other night that, like, I've been using Lightroom Mobile, and I canceled my subscription, but it was like weeks ago before any of this came out.
Yep.
So, but the reason I did it is because I got to start watching what I'm subscribing to. Like, I've got a bunch of things that I'm subscribing to that I think I could trim back and, gain some of my monthly income back. and I can make do without the paid features in Lightroom. I did it for years anyway. So so I know. So that's kind of where I'm at with the whole thing.
How will you transform a cat into an eggshell if you don't pay for Lightroom?
Well, there's other programs. There's Photomator, there's Touch Retouch. They don't all do it as good as Lightroom, that's for sure. I mean, Lightroom's probably the best at it, but I don't know.
Lightroom's the best at changing things into eggs.
Yeah.
That's their slogan.
Yeah.
Now, what's that? What's he talking about? What's a loony?
It's a $1 coin.
Oh,
Because it has a loon on it.
I see.
I don't know if I have
Because I
one.
held that up before. That's what he was asking about.
Yeah, well, the loony's bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's about that big.
How do you know my hands aren't like gigantic hands
I don't know. Maybe they are.
with this little coin?
Okay, here's a loony.
Dale
I do
knows
have
because
one.
Dale's actually met me, but you
Big
Canadians, big hands.
Here's a loony, because it has a loon on it. Is our dollar coin. So we don't have a dollar bill anymore. We have a dollar coin.
Yep.
And
How long since you've had a dollar bill?
Oh, wow.
A long time then.
Scott, do you know? I can't remember. It's been so long. And then they got rid of the $2 bill, and they made this coin that has a polar bear on it. It's a little bigger than the loony, but it's called a toonie because it's a $2 bill.
Oh, jeez.
But they've even got a store downtown here called the Looney Tooney store because it's dollars, $2, whatever you want.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, cool. See what you've just shown there. Have you still got them?
Yep.
For some reason, when my audio goes, yours cuts out a little bit, Greg. But our dollar coin and our $2 coin is basically the same, except our $2 coin doesn't have that silver around it. Our $2 coin is smaller than our $1 coin.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. I don't have one here, mate. I'm not that rich.
This is it's only about 2 millimeters bigger in diameter.
Yeah, our $2
the
coin
toonie.
is, I would say, almost half the size of the dollar coin.
Yeah.
Hold on, I've got one. I've got one.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Let me just turn that around. So you
Not
can
set
see.
up at all.
It wasn't set up. I just had it in my pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Toonie and
We call them dollary doos.
Dollary dues.
Dollary dues.
Much like a didgeridoo, but you can't play it.
Yeah. Mike Goyne says loonies and toonies in the chat there, but toonies is there's no W in it. It's just TOONIES. It's just like loonies, but with a T.
So it's spelt wrong then, because it's two.
Yeah.
Not like it's too many. It's like number 2. So he has spelt it correctly, just that you guys use it wrong.
I guess. It's kind of like driving on the left side of the road.
The inside joke there is that one of these dingbats sent a picture in the chat that we have with the map of the world. Can you show that, Greg, or not?
Yep.
Was it you that posted? I can't remember.
I didn't post it, but I think I could show it.
I was going to show it, but I've got something else lined up to show afterwards, so it'll mess with it a little bit.
Okay, hang on.
And I'm disappointed that Dale's not in his car.
Yeah. Oh, for Pete's sake, I can't do it yet. Okay, I'll do it on my phone. I can't do it on the computer, but
I could have done that.
well, if I did, I'd have to reboot. Well, let me see. Maybe I can. Let's see. Oh, I can do it. Yep.
This is the hard-hitting stuff that we post on that chat.
Yeah, exactly.
You all think that we sit there talking about high-end tech stuff for the Facebook group, and rarely does anything with the Facebook group ever come up. Anyway,
so you should be able to see that.
Yep. So this was the photo or the image that one of you guys sent, and as you can see, most of the world is on the right-hand side. So the joke was that because we obviously drive on the left-hand side, which is the right side, and I threw a spanner into the works by saying that people who live in the country drive in the middle. That was just so that we can see kangaroos coming from either side. You can move, or, play a bit of dodging. And then Dale said he was going to drive in his car this morning just to prove us all wrong. And here he is in his freaking lounge room.
Yeah.
Or his study, or wherever he is. It's like disappointing. Yeah. The other stuff. What's this star business? I don't get what that star business is. What's that? Did Devo actually give money out?
It's a super chat. Super chat.
Oh, good on you, Devo. Don't know what for. I just saw start because in my streaming software it doesn't show the same way. I think he was just explaining what the loony value was, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's the British pound is 79 cents, I guess. I don't know.
Pence.
What they call it.
They call them pence. Pence? Is it pence?
Oh yeah, maybe it's pence.
Devo, was it pence? As a country driver, exactly. The whole road belongs to me. And there will be nothing stop me. If I see someone coming and I know that person, you just know there's a very good chance we're going to stop right there and have a chat until another car comes. And if you're having a good chat in the middle of the road and they can get around you, if you think that I could get around the two of you, you won't move. You're like, go around. You can get around. Go up on the curb or go through the washout. Just go around. We're chatting. Yeah, that's how it is. 79p is. Oh, is that really? It's $1.50. Yes, pence. Cool.
Yeah.
The other thing. That's enough of Adobe stuff. I've not had any issue myself, obviously, and I don't think that I will, to be honest. From everything that we just discussed, though, it seems like we're making a mountain out of a molehill, or having a storm.
Yeah,
in the
but there's always people. There's always people that are going to freak out over stuff like that. I just, based on what I've seen over the last few days, I just don't think it's all that bad.
Yeah. Well, if what you're saying is accurate, and don't let this go to your head, but you're probably one of the most honest people I know. I
Well, even this guy
I
at
think
work said. Even this guy at work, look, he was talking about the attributes of this guy, this guy, this guy. He says, "Well, you're an asshole. He can't lie," and all this stuff.
I get told often enough that I call a spade, and whether that's like you don't lie, it's I think calling a spade gets you into more trouble than anything else. It's like, yeah, you're a fuckwit. It's like, oh.
But hey,
Can't
at least people
monetize
know
this
where
one
you
now.
stand.
Exactly.
At least people know where you stand, right? Yeah.
We say notes, not bills. Yeah. Do you say bills? Do you, Greg?
Yep. $20 bill, $10 bill.
Oh, no, we say notes. Yeah.
Or if
we
it's
have names.
if it's $100 bill, it's a C note.
C note.
Yeah.
You don't want to think of that.
Oh, speaking of jail,
Yeah,
Patrika's in the house.
I just saw that. Yeah. See, he's gone from Huawei. He's left Huawei.
Yeah, what's he on now? Xiaomi?
Xiaomi, yeah. Yeah. But there's something, damn it. I can't really show it because I've got this other stuff lined up. These other photos, because I haven't posted a lot of these photos on social media. He sent me a message like to say, hey, check out the photos that I took, and I went and had a look. I get tagged a lot in that group, guys. But I don't always look. I'm sorry. I went and had a look, and he's got this. It's like a sculpture or something. I'm not sure what exactly it's called, but you would have seen the photo. It's a nighttime photo. He's taken photos of this thing before. It must be near where he lives. It's like this. It's like a hexagon thing with like these pods on it. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen the photo, Greg?
It. I think so.
Actually, I'm just going to see. I'll see if I can pull it up here with the other stuff that I've got lined up or not. Because it's a ripper photo and it really shows what this camera can do. But there's something that happened in the photo that I've gone, that's a bit bloody weird. I should just search for his freaking name, shouldn't I? Jailbird.
Just search under band.
I am spelling his name right. Why am I not seeing it? There. It's because his name's all ass backwards. That's why. In Facebook. That photo.
Oh,
so he's got this. There's other ones there too, like that photo. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that is. The Beach Boy says, "What's today's topic?" I don't know. We just spoke about some Adobe stuff a minute ago. We'll probably speak about some other stuff soon enough, and then we'll talk about this stuff now. There's your topic.
So okay, so looking at these pictures, guys. He's either done something in post or the lens in the camera of that phone is like you don't see star things off a light like that.
Yep, correct. That's
right?
exactly what I want to talk about. Yep.
Yeah.
So that there, to me, you do see it, right? Sweet. So this star flare here is normally achieved with the blades on, like the aperture blades in a lens. That's how they appear. And generally speaking, the higher price point the lens is, as in the higher quality of the lens, the more aperture blades there are, so there's more lines for the star. So the cheaper lenses will have fewer blades, fewer star points, if you like. But now that I'm looking at this, that actually is all the way through. Because when I looked at this, it must have just been on. Yeah. Because when I was looking at this on my phone. Yeah. Have you done
AI
it?
kind of something.
It's called the autominum. Or atomium?
The atomium?
Atomium? Of course, it is called that. I'm curious, Patricia, have you done any astro with this? Have you taken any
Oh,
photos?
so he
Because
just said the main camera has a variable aperture, but it must be a software gimmick. Patricia,
what
what
about
kind of
if you
phone is that?
It's the 14 Pro, I reckon it is, or something like this. It is
yeah.
a Xiaomi. Oh, I'm useless with saying these things. The
Xiaomi?
Xiaomi. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like the 14 Pro or something. But well, it actually probably says in the post. There you go. The 14 Ultra.
Okay.
And it is good. Like the shadows and everything in this, they certainly look really good. But the staffing kind of throws me a little bit. It's almost like it's added it afterwards. It's very unphone like. It's very much like okay, no Astro yet, but there is a star in. How can I get that to show up better? It's not going to show the bloody photo. It's only showing everything else. There is a star right there, and on my screen, I certainly can't tell if it's. Oh, here we go. Let's try this way. No, there's no peaks from the stars in this one over here either. The other thing that I noticed on this photo, there's no lens flare. If that was an iPhone, there'd be lens flares all over the bloody place.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a gimmicky thing or if it's
Okay, I'm looking on the website and it says the Leica 1-inch main camera is f1.63 to f4 stepless variable aperture.
So the f what? F6.
f1.63 to f4 stepless variable aperture.
Okay. So that just means it's going to go from one to the other, nothing in between.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'd really like to see how this is with Astro. Is this a auto sort of like night mode photo, Patricia, or is this a manual setting sort of photo? Because I'm wondering if it's a manual one, it's probably not going to throw these stars out. And they are on every light, which is interesting. On the phone, it didn't show that.
It's got a 1-inch sensor too. 50 megapixel. Oh wait, hold on. The main camera, 50.
Yeah, it's quite impressive.
And it's pixel bin too, though. It's binning.
Okay. Take longer than the time step like DSLR used to. Oh, okay. I reckon my gut feeling is that these stars are being put in afterwards, like putting in the processing of the photo.
Okay, do you want to hear what modes it has?
Why not?
Okay,
it's going to be it's going to be depressing. I can feel it.
Yeah,
it's going to have really cool things like the Huawei does. I reckon.
It's got what's called fast shot, and it tells you which cameras these are available on. Portrait mode, 2 portrait styles, master portrait and Leica portrait, portrait night mode, Xiaomi Pro Focus, so motion tracking focus, eye tracking focus, motion capture, lightning burst, night mode, digital zoom up to 120 times, HDR, 50 megapixel mode, super moon, panorama, documents, long exposure, pro mode. The image formats captured are DNG, HEIF, JPEG, Ultra RAW 16-bit, and RAW mode.
What's the super moon thing, Patricia? It has everything the Huawei had, but more. It's even got Google services, I think he told me. I wish I could get these bloody things here. You just can't. It's a pain in the ass. Anywho, it's a good photo. It certainly looks like it's certainly good in low light. That's really interesting. Dave Podner.
Hey.
Can we compare to Samsung's moon? Well,
Yeah.
it depends on how much detail you want added to the photo. I saw on, I think I sent it to you guys, the latest update in the S24 Ultra on the Samsung Facebook group. There's people bitching about that like nothing else. It's really kind of nerfed the moon photos. I shared a photo with you guys, and it's
like
probably
Lego
worse
blocks.
than the iPhone. It was pretty bad, and it was at 30 times zoom is what the post said, I reckon, and which is pretty low. That's like the sweet spot for that camera. It's interesting, very interesting. I'll get rid of that. Should we look at other photos while we're in here?
Yeah, let's do that.
We can if you want. We haven't done that for a while. 'Tis the season. That's not a bad shot of from the iPhone. I like that. There's something that I think you got to play to your strengths, and the Samsungs and those sorts of cameras have got that really good zoom that you can get good photos of the whole moon. But this is playing to the iPhone strengths for sure. You can still see the moon detail, but the foreground elements, I think, add to that quite nicely. Luke Beale, he's a regular. I like the dynamic range of that photo. That's quite good.
Yeah, it's nice.
Have you guys put any photos on here recently?
For a while.
I think I might.
Oh, that's it.
Good weather.
You're sacked. You're sacked, Dale. That's kind of cool. What iPhone 15 Pro Max. I like that. I think the iPhone, I'll talk about this in a minute. I think the iPhone is probably the best at that foreground and astro, like the stars sort of composition. I think it does it really, really well. Morning, Ron. We were just talking about you. Well, I was. These guys were just listening. They weren't saying anything bad. Some camping setups there. I quite like how that fire looks. That's a Galaxy S23 Ultra. That's nice.
When they were still good.
I think they're getting better. I did the update on mine, and it definitely looks better. Not many astro shots going on here besides those couple up there. That was kind of cool. I do like that.
Oh,
I think,
fireflies.
Yeah, Ralph Mayhew did a video on shooting the fireflies up on the Gold Coast hinterland, and it was very much that sort of a photo inside a cave. It was very cool.
Oh, cool.
Greg, did you put your road picture with the sky you took in the middle of the night?
I'm just going to look for it right now, and I'll put it on there.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Oh, yes.
I like that. Oh, it's up near where I was before with the Pixel 8 Pro. See, I wouldn't have even picked that as a pixel photo because it's kind of on the edges of this photo here. You see it's kind of like not smudged, but it's almost like it's like a bit of lens distortion almost. And you can only really tell on that core just there. I haven't seen that before. It's very cool. Very cool. What photo are you looking for, Greg?
I just put it on there, so it should be right at the top.
Oh, you put it on Facebook?
In the group, yep. There it is.
Well, that's all right. That is.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the Milky Way going across just above the horizon.
I'll give you one of these bad boys. Watch this. There you go. Look at that.
Yay!
Yay! You can pay your power bills now.
Yeah, and you were first.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Doesn't that drive you nuts on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Is this the one you were talking about earlier when you drove all this way and yeah, cool. I think that works, man. I think that's a really cool photo.
I just made sure I was right dead center in the road, and I just took a flashlight and I just kind of turned it on for about a second or 2 seconds, and then shut it off again, and that's the effect it got. So, and it's edited, of course. I mean, I did. There's a slight vignette around it and all this stuff. The usual. Oh, actually, what I did though, Shane, was I followed your Lightroom settings that you did on one of your most recent videos.
Don't listen to me, man.
Oh, yeah, but it worked. It worked.
Well, shit, that's all right.
So, if anybody's wondering how to edit, if anybody's wondering how to edit a shot like this, go to the YouTube channel, have a look. And
I think there's a fair chance that people who are watching us doing the live stream as unprofessional as I am at doing this, they probably do watch the videos.
Yeah, probably.
I guarantee you, nobody watches the live stream and doesn't watch the videos. If you do, you're knucking fucks. The road in front of you here, like where this light is. Where's the freaking mouse? All through here. Is there a town out here? It looks like there
just
is.
farms.
Maybe this way. Just
okay. So over
What's
to
all
the
this light
right.
from then?
Over to the right is the city that I live in, kind of off to the right, and the light pollution just kind of carried on through the clouds, and the moon was behind me, and it was I would say it was clouded over pretty good, but yet the clouds weren't so thick you couldn't see it. You could still see the moon. Yep. But I mean, it was otherwise it was really dark on that road.
I like how these larger stars are popping. I really like that. I find that when the sky is super dark, you don't get that as much. You don't get it as much.
And I think that was probably with the 2x setting. Like, it's still the main camera, but the 2x setting, I think.
Oh. I've never done that.
Yeah, maybe
it's just as effective. I mean, it's just as effective,
I'm going to try that. I'm definitely
Wouldn't it be half as effective, though? Like, in theory, wouldn't it?
Well, if you want to pick the fly shit out of the pepper.
Like the potential quality, right? I don't know.
No, I find it's just as good myself.
It'll be the same. It just won't be as wide a field of view.
Yeah.
It should be the same amount of light hitting the sensor.
Okay, I'm just looking here. Okay, you know what? No, this shot is the full, the 1 times.
Oh, man, do you even know what you're talking about?
Not half the time, no.
I bring you on here because you're the person that I know who knows the most about this sort of stuff.
Now, I do have one here that I did shoot.
And without you, man, this show's fallen to shit.
I do have this one that I did shoot at the 2x setting, and it's I could copy I could copy those adjustments and paste them in, and it'll look the same. Like it's
show that again,
Greg. It does a good job. If I can get the damn thing to focus.
In front of your face.
There we go.
Yep. Cool.
And as you can see here is the new iOS 18 interface for photos.
Oh, isn't that just so pretty?
Maybe that's what Apple meant by 2 times better. Maybe we're using the wrong camera.
Maybe.
Maybe. We've done the astro photos. I haven't done a video about it yet. I'm not loving how the iPhone works on it, to be honest. I find what I found so far is that the Samsung is doing the better job. I think that's just because of the manual mode. But yeah, stay tuned. Once this moon pisses off, I'll do a video on it. It does work really well. The iPhone, I'm not sure if it's. I should try it with the Pixel as well to see if that's going to work. Because the Pixel does all that stacking bizzo, but this is going to be moving with it. It might. I might break the matrix by doing it. I'm not sure. We'll see. So if the world explodes in about 2 weeks, it's going to be because I put a pixel on a Star Tracker. So I went on this trip, which you've seen. I think you've done videos on it. I'm thinking because of the 2 channels now, I'm doing this backlog of videos for the 4-wheel driving channel. But I've done some for this channel. Divide by 0. Yeah. Yeah, but it might break the internet, man. You don't know if I use the pics. I don't know. I'm going to try it. If the world ends, blame me. So I did that video on with the rocks and on the beach there, sort of thing. That was a pretty cool shot. I quite enjoyed that. And then I did the video with the panorama. It was just something that I was playing with. I think I even sent you guys a message, or maybe just you a message, Greg. I'm not sure about what was that app called. That
Emo Stitch.
Stitches all. Yeah, I think I even called it Bio Stitch because it's just how it works. In my reptile brain. Because someone actually asked me in the comments, like, I can't find this Bio Stitch. Like, oh, it's because it's not called that. But I tried a few different apps to stitch photos together, and it was only when I've gone back to you guys because you guys were talking about it. What was this thing called? And I tried it, and it was this photo here. It's probably not going to look as pretty on here because it's only at 7. I'm only streaming at 720. It doesn't look like it's going to work anyway. Oh, there we go. That there is. It has to be pretty bloody. It really is, man. I'm so happy with it. Everything about this photo works, like the reflection in the water, and it was something that, to put this into where I all the way. So I drove up. I think it was like 3,000 k's or 3,500 k's round trip. And I took 2 weeks. I went up and saw this long-haired lout near Newcastle. And we were going to do some amazing astrophotography videos, but we just drank a lot of beer. but to be fair,
that was productive.
Yeah. To be fair, on the way to seeing Dale, I saw Glenn Martin in Canberra. So I teed up with Glenn, let's do a video. Well, he was keen to do a video. He had this idea. It was like, this is going to work really well. And the whole way there, it rained and pulled into the campsite. And it's just like, I can't even see any sky besides cloud. And I said, I'm about 45 minutes, or I'm going to be there at 4:30 or something like this. And I got to where the campsite is, and there's no phone reception. So I couldn't even contact him and say, mate, don't even bother. It's just shit. But anyway, he turns up and he's like, I've got my gear, but there's no stars, Shane. I'm like, yeah, I know. But I have a fridge and it's got beer in it and the fire's going. So we just sat there and drank beer and watched the fire. Then from that,
we solved all the world's problems.
Oh, no, we created so many. And then, I go up and I think it was 2 days later, I was up there with Dale, and we were going to shoot that little tent. And it was going to be friggin' epic, like with that V of the trees coming down, the tent, and the tent did the light painting all by itself. It was just friggin' awesome. And the Galactic Hall would have been up in that V. It would have been just spectacular. But when I got back to where I was camping, where that tent was, it was raining. In fact, we had been in the pub drinking, I think, that night. I'm sure it was that night. And then in the morning, I woke up, because I'll wake up very early, and I stuck my head out the tent. I was like, oh, there's stars. Sent Dale a photo, I think, that I just took, thinking he'll come out now. He never came out.
Completely missed it.
Dale was sleeping. Anyway, ended up shooting that video. As I'm doing all these things, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, hold on, there's people around here camping. There's like people just here camping. So it's the first video I've done where I'm like, I'm gonna do this now. I was speaking so quietly in that video. I don't know if you can tell at the final release, because I'm using I was using Final Cut Pro for pretty much the whole time I've been doing this YouTube channel, and it's only in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks I've ditched that, and I'm actually using CapCut now on my desktop, and it's bloody awesome. It is such a time saver for me. I used to spend so long fixing my audio and stuff in Final Cut Pro, and now the AI tools that are in CapCut, I just go, fix that shit, and just, it's done. It's so good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so good.
And
Anyway,
it's
this
free
photo-
on the desktop?
Yeah, it's free. But I pay for the pro version because there's so many more things I can do.
Right. Okay.
But you absolutely can get it free. There's a free version and a paid version. It's things like on some videos you'll see some writing as I'm saying those words.
Yeah.
Like we would say as I'm saying these words, just to reinforce such a certain point, and that takes bloody ages to do in Final Cut Pro. And with CapCut, I go transcribe this video, and it goes through and does that for every single word in the video, even with my friggin' accent, even using my slang. It'll even go friggin'. It'll put FRIGTIN.
Oh wow.
It's so clever. But then I just go through it and highlight all of it and delete it except for the 2 or 3 words that I want, and it's still about 20 times faster than what Final Cut will do it. It's so bloody good.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. I don't have all the bells and whistles of all the plugins and stuff that Final Cut had. You know, like the little thing that come out the side of the screen here to say Bloody Legends Group and things like this. It doesn't have that.
Yeah.
You can do it. That sort of thing just takes a little bit longer. But shit, man, I don't care. It'll do all my color grading, everything, and like a touch of a button. It's bloody good. But anyways, this photo here was after I left Dale after a couple of days of just freaking horrid weather for astrophotography anyway. But it was good to meet him. It was really good to catch up and see our way around Newcastle and see how. We weren't in Newcastle. We were at
Nelson Bay.
Nelson Bay, and it is horrendous to park there. I got a couple of things out of Nelson Bay. One, it's where Dale's parents live, and 2, parking on the street is like, don't go there. It's just so expensive. It's like $4.50 an hour or something.
Yeah, it's crazy price.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah. Anyway, I left him and I went up to. I was heading up to Brisbane to see my son, and I stopped here. This is just near Yamba, on the northern end of the New South Wales coast, and I pulled into this. You got to book all these bloody camp spots all in New South Wales. It's actually happening all over Australia now, and I booked this one, and it was right near the beach. So I thought this is good. I'll be able to get a good video. Woke up in the morning. This here was taken at about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's setting. So where this photo's taken, I'd be like this doing that, the video that I shot between the rocks. So the galactic core was like almost vertical. And then at night, go through to the night. And in the morning, it's like this. So when you see an astro photo like this, where the galactic core is curved like it is in this photo, that's always going to be a panorama shot. Because it's flat naturally. Like this is a panorama shot. And I thought, I don't know what this bloody software is, but I'm going to just capture it anyway and work out later, because I'll have the photos at least. I can play with the apps later. So this photo is, I think, 5 or 6 photos, just like overlapping by about half of the frame each time. And it's the first time that I've had anyone commenting on my Instagram posts or YouTube videos. I even had a message from Russell Brown saying, did you really take that with the phone? Actually, no, it wasn't this photo. It was another photo. I'll show you in a second. And he's like, did you really take that with the phone? It's like, yeah, man. I don't even take the bloody camera with me anymore. Like, that gets used for weddings and stuff. I don't even use that for doing photography anymore. I just take my phone. It's pretty cool. I'll show you that photo. So that's my camper trailer, right? And
yeah.
so that there was just that would have been at night. Yeah, it would have been at night because it was going to shoot that video that I was just between the rocks and stuff. And I've put that on Facebook, I reckon. And that's the one there that Russell said, did you really do that with the phone? I'm like, yeah, man, it's cool as. And there's plenty of light going on from other campers and stuff in that campsite. It just works, man. Like, you struggle to get this with one shot with a DSLR. You'd have to do multiple exposures to get that all in focus, all exposed properly. And the iPhone just did it very, very, very good. That's a print, 100%. Oh, the panorama, you mean? Nope, there's the next one. You're talking about this one being a print?
Oh yeah, that should be, yeah.
There's better ones.
I think that's the new
Oh.
Facebook cover photo, I reckon. I reckon you should change
this one?
it to the...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
maybe.
reckon.
Who's up there at the moment? I can't remember.
Replace me. Go on.
Oh, it's yours.
I endorse it. I endorse it.
Right.
My name is Dale, and I approve this message.
It's a bloody ripper shot. Like, that's just on a tripod. Going, I want to put the camper in this a little bit for my other channel, for the other channel's Instagram page, and that was the shot. There's very little editing done to this as well. It's just really cool. This was done the same morning that I took the panorama. In fact, that tree right there, keep that tree in mind. That's it there.
I thought it looked familiar, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This here, I included this in the little group of photos, mainly because it's just the two Magellatic clouds. And I think you can see these all year round, right? It's the galactic core that moves. So you can get these here into photos anytime, and they can still be a good part of the photo. Make sense? Like, it doesn't have to be that gaseous cloud of galactic core. You can absolutely get good photos with this. As far as overlapping, I found that shooting more photos than you think. Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I'll actually demonstrate that in another photo. So I've become a little bit addicted to panorama photos now.
Yeah.
And what I found is that the more the wind is blowing, and it was blowing pretty heavily where I did this. This was up in Gundawindi. When I woke up that morning, it was bloody cold. That there, I think the moon was still up a little bit, so the light pollution in the sky didn't help a great deal here. You can see with the amount of trees that are still green in the photos that there's a light source there. But with the trees moving a bit, I think it screwed a little bit with the stitching. But that photo, that's probably my favorite so far. And this here is exactly because of that. So this has about 20 photos in it, maybe more. And I was only overlapping them by like 2/3 on overlap. So I'd only moved the camera like 1/3 of a frame as I did it. There's heaps of photos in this. So to have the clouds there and to have the whole core in that photo, this is almost a 180-degree photo. It's very cool.
The app does pretty well. Like, I mean, I've tried to use Photoshop for stuff like this many times in the past, and I haven't had much luck really stitching it. Obviously, the iPhone has no full manual control, so most of the photos are ever so slightly ISO, and they just don't play properly together.
But when you look at this, this is everything that I like about phone photography. It's all in one device. It's simple as to use. And like, if you watched, I shot this photo while I was making dinner. I was like full on concentrating on what I was doing. I was like, is that finished? Yeah, it's me a little bit. Over here, do what I'm doing. Is that finished yet? Not yet. Is that finished yet? Oh, it hasn't. A little bit. So I wasn't remotely concentrating on what I was doing. And it was so forgiving in that. Like, that's just crazy. I haven't edited this photo yet in Lightroom, so you could certainly bring a bit of haze out of it. But to be able to do all of that on your phone is nuts. There's no obvious, not to me in this photo anyway, there's no obvious exposure changes through it. I've done I've done Astro Panos before, I think maybe with Lightroom or something, or Photoshop, I can't remember, early on the channel. And it was with the Samsung phone. And even though it was all manually controlled, it still changed the exposure through all of the photos.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I like the other one better, but both. Jeez. I like this one better. Good on you, Baker. Yes, very happy with that. I reckon we don't do the theme of the week or theme of the month thing anymore. That kind of died in the ass. But I'd love to see what other people can do with this, because it gives you so much more creative license to do so much more than just that one shot. Like and
if you're happy with it, you can print it, because you've got more megapixels now, so you can really blow that bloody thing up.
Absolutely, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share those with you guys. That was all. What else we want to talk about? Anything else? Nothing. This is our professional studio standard.
Insert Jeopardy music here.
What's going on with the podcast, Greg?
I'm having a bugger of a time getting it on YouTube now because I let my Zoom subscription expire, and it just can't justify paying that anymore. So, trying to figure something out. I tried OBS. And it just failed. But I was using Skype.
How so?
Well, we were using Skype, and okay, so it was the one for WWDC. We had Joseph Ferreira on. He used to be on Tiny Shutter, and thankfully he recorded the audio too. He says, "I'm going to record the audio as a backup." Okay, perfect. Because I had Audio Hijack going. And OBS, we tried streaming from it, but it didn't work. But anyway, for whatever reason, after almost an hour, my Skype audio screwed up and it stopped recording. Luckily, Joe had it because it went on for like another 35 or so minutes. So he just, sent me the audio, and the rest is history. But so on the last show, Dave and I did it on FaceTime. And I just recorded the audio on Audio Hijack, and it actually worked on my Mac. I got the beta for Mac OS, whatever it is, running on the Mac here, and it's been pretty solid. I don't know if anything's crashed. When you open Audio Hijack, it says there's a warning. This Audio Hijack is not compatible with this version of Mac OS yet, or whatever. But I mean, it worked fine, so that was good. But we're gonna have when I do get the video going again, I wanna do it live on YouTube, at least for a little while longer. I'm gonna have a guy named Dwight Broman on, and he's at he's out of California, and he shoots with an iPhone, but he does his editing on the desktop, and his editing process is pretty hefty and pretty deep, with Photoshop and all that stuff. So I thought it'd be pretty cool to just watch him go through a quick edit, and I'll probably cut that part out of the audio, just because that's going to be kind of painful to listen to. But I think it would be good for the video side of it, and he's he's learned a lot of his stuff from YouTubers. He's a corporate sales guy. He so he's got no what's the word I'm looking for? Official, I guess you could say, training or whatever in Photoshop and all that stuff. Everything he's doing he's learning off of YouTube, and it's like he's getting into the adjusting the color tones of the midtones of the image and all that stuff in Photoshop, and I thought it was really interesting. Stuff that I don't even dream about doing, but it's kind of inspiring to maybe, for anybody who wants to do some advanced editing. You don't have to be a trained professional to do it. He's proof in the pudding that anybody could do it. You just got to put the time in to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, like Dave and I, we do the show kind of like this live stream. We 10 minutes before, what are we going to talk about? Well, I mean, not quite that bad, but I mean,
10 minutes. You guys, they're rookie numbers. You're like get to 5 minutes or 3 minutes. Really push the envelope.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? I don't know.
Yeah. Here we do it sometimes after you hit the live button.
Hey, I was just looking here. StreamYard can do what you want to do on the free version.
Is there a time limit?
Yeah, so you can do 20 hours of streaming per month for free, or record 2 hours per month, which the recording is here or there. I don't use any of it, but you're live streaming, and you can have 6 on-screen participants.
You got to be kidding me.
Nope. If I was kidding, I'd say a horse walked into a bar, but this here is it. Yep.
Well, I better look at it then, because I looked at StreamYard and I just thought, okay, you got to pay for use the paid version if you're going to do all this good stuff. But if I could stream for free,
there you go. That's it.
Okay. Well, the logo, I don't care about that. The Zoom logo was there anyway.
Yep. It'll do what you want to do, dude. That's what I'm using now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And as a guest that comes on here, it's fairly easy to do, right? You guys get a link, you join it, you follow the bouncing ball if you like. It's dead easy to do.
Yeah.
Maybe Dave. Go and have a look. Go and have a look, Greg. I reckon you'll be happy to do it. I know someone who locally who uses the free version. It's just got the StreamYard logo up the top when they live stream. It's no big deal.
No,
it's really not.
No. Like I say, the Zoom logo was on the other ones, so.
Yeah, and this has changed because it used to be only 2 participants, on-screen participants. It used to be 2, which is why I've actually got the basic one. The only benefit I see going to the professional one is streaming in 1080p, and I don't know.
So what does that mean at the bottom? There are 2 seats.
I think what that means is that I can give, say I've got a channel where I've got like 4 or 5 people who are the main character, if you like me on the channel, and you might be one of them. Dale might be another one. There's 3 seats, so you could host your own live stream from wherever you are on that account and so forth.
Oh, I see.
So,
okay.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Okay.
Like an admin account or something, I guess.
There you go. Exactly that. Yep, there you go. I should have seen the little information button there. So this, I think, will do what you want it to do. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I would certainly give it a test. You can have 2 admins. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Because then that way, if okay, so I'll set it up, and then I'll add Dave on, and then if I can't do a show, and he can still do a show, he can, get somebody to go on and carry on. Yeah, that'll work out good.
All right. I lost you.
Okay, so
I'll get you back again.
Before I don't know how long we're going to go here, but before we do go, while I'm still thinking of it, I just want to ask you 2 guys this: who could throw him back the best? The beers.
It was pretty tame. We just talked, and the beer helped lubricate the throat. We did the inaugural team meeting that you guys didn't come to. What's Baker showing here? I think Baker.
We didn't get the memo.
Well, he didn't either. It was an impromptu meeting, and you guys just didn't turn up.
Baker says, "Who bought the Fosters?"
No one.
Foster's lager.
They only drink Fosters in the UK, mate. You drongo. Who knows what a Choswaller is? Anyways, let's get out of here.
You should do a live stream, even if it's just for 5 minutes of just straight Australian slang.
I have thought about doing something like that. And you know what the best performing live stream I've ever had on the channel
was with Sarah.
It was with Sarah. And I'm going to say I've had some pretty bloody talented people on here, and I think all the photography community will get around and see what like Russell Brown has to say. But Sarah sitting here talking about putting fucking Nutella on crumpets and stuff was like it was the biggest. So maybe what we ought to do is we'll work it out. I reckon if we have like some Canadian slang, like we'll come up with some terms and like you tell us the word and we'll try and guess what they are, sort of thing. And I'll do the same thing here, and Dale, and we've got Scott and Devo. Who else is from other parts of the world? Dave Podner.
Oh, let me tell you, they've got some pretty funny stuff from the city that he lives in.
Yeah.
Like
Is that
Pittsburgh?
There was a word that I called him, and to be honest, I Googled it before I said it to him.
Was it a Yinza?
And I still Yinza, that was it. Yinza. It was like, what on earth is this? Yeah. Who else we got here? Patrika. Where's Patrika live now? Is it Berlin? Is it in Berlin?
Is he in Germany?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he is.
Wasn't he in Belgium?
I might be wrong in that. Probably is Belgium, mate. Sorry, yeah, probably is. Tooney and a loony. Yeah, just like that. Exactly that sort of thing. What do you reckon?
You spelled loony wrong.
Belgium.
Oh, it's a Tooney and a Lonnie.
No, he just spelled it wrong.
Yeah, I know. Belgium. Yinzer's
oh, yeah. Yinzer and that.
There we go.
Yinzer's and that.
Yeah.
It's just way better.
Patrika? I reckon Dave would, without even asking.
Yeah.
He's good value. I really like look. I like him as a person. He seems like a decent bloke. Don't tell him I said that. So we could get Devo. Devo would come on, I reckon, just for this sort of thing.
And he won't even
be schedule it around happy hour, but you know.
Yeah.
Always happy hour.
Every hour is happy hour for him.
Yeah. We'll try that. We'll try that for 2 weeks' time. I'll actually put an invite on the Facebook group for different parts of the world to see if we can come up with some interesting ones. I think that'd be worth doing. It's got nothing to do with photography.
Yeah.
Bonus episode.
Yeah, so Dave, make sure in 2 weeks' time you're available at 4:00 our time, 4:00 Friday afternoon.
Yeah. I'll put the invite onto the Facebook group as well, because I can have, let me just check, 10 on-screen participants. Because it says right there.
There you go.
10. I may have done something bad here. We'll just see. What's it? Are you okay?
Sick. Yeah.
Have you got COVID or something? Yeah. Because all I ever see on his Facebook is him at the pub. That's it. Do you live in a pub, David? Maybe he lives in a pub. Maybe he lives. Anyways, that's it. Let's get out of here. See, just here right now, talking about this sort of thing, nothing to do with photography. The view count has gone of the live viewers.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that's it. We're not talking about photography anymore. Started after walk. You walk your dog at 10 at night? I suppose summer over there, so it's probably still light, is it? Could be.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get out of here.
Kind of late at 8:45 or 10:15.
When I was going up that east coast, it was getting dark at like 5:30-ish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I'm going to have to cook dinner now because it's still light and I don't want to be cooking in the dark. It's just a pain in the ass. But I don't want to eat at 5:30. It's like, come on. First world problems. All right, let's get out of here. See you guys later.
Alrighty. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for coming. Hooroo.